Welcome back to the AI Coach by Anil Nathu. Today we're doing a deep dive on something really fascinating, sovereign AI. It's a topic that's getting a lot of buzz right now, and for good reason.
Yeah, it really is.
We're talking about countries kind of going their own way with AI. Not just depending on the big tech companies or other countries, but actually creating and controlling their own AI systems.
Right.
And there's so many questions that come to mind when you think about that, right? Like, why is this happening now? Is it just that, everyone wants to be the best at AI,
Yeah.
or is there something deeper going on?
Yeah, definitely something deeper.
And what does it even mean for us, for everyday people?
Hmm.
Because this could affect things like data privacy, the economy, maybe even like the whole balance of power in the world. It's a big deal.
Absolutely.
So let's bring in our expert. What do you think? What's the big deal about sovereign AI? Why are countries suddenly so interested in this?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head when you talked about global competition. You know, AI is being seen more and more as like a secret weapon, a way for countries to get ahead.
I have.
And on top of that, there are big worries about who controls all the data that AI needs, right? Countries are starting to get really nervous about that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And you can't forget about the ethical side of things either. I mean, countries want to make sure that the AI they're using aligns with their own values, not necessarily, the values of Silicon Valley.
That's a great point. So it's not just about the tech itself, it's about like who's in charge of it and what it's used for.
Exactly.
So what could all of this actually look like? What are some ways that this sovereign AI trend might change things?
Well, one thing we're already seeing is governments using AI to make things more efficient, like in defense, public services, things like that.
Okay, so like more streamlined.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's the whole economic side of things. This could create all sorts of new opportunities for local companies to get involved in building AI systems that are specifically designed for their country's needs.
Oh, so not just using AI, but actually building it themselves.
Right. But, and this is a big but, it takes a lot of investment and expertise to do this, right? Not every country has that.
That's a good point. So not everyone can just jump on this bandwagon. You need some serious resources.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, this AI Coach by Anil Nathu, Deep Dive, mentioned some companies that are already doing this sovereign AI stuff.
Yeah.
Like there was TCS in India and Autotos in Europe.
Yes.
What are those guys up to? What kind of projects are they working on?
Well, they're both developing AI solutions that are really tailored to their own country's needs. TCS is doing some really cool stuff in healthcare and education. They're using AI to create platforms that can be used by millions of people. And Atos is more focused on the infrastructure side of things. They're working on secure cloud systems for governments, making sure that their data stays within their own borders.
So kind of like building the foundation for everything else to be built on top of.
Yeah, exactly. The foundation of sovereign AI.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But let's be real for a second. Building this whole homegrown AI thing, it can't be easy, right?
Oh, definitely not. There are some major obstacles that countries are going to have to overcome.
Like what? What are some of the biggest hurdles?
Well, one of the biggest ones is just keeping up with how insanely fast AI is developing.
Yeah.
Seriously, new models and algorithms are coming out all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like trying to hit a moving target.
It really is. And for countries to stay competitive, they got to constantly be investing in research and development. They can't fall behind.
Oh, absolutely.
And then there's the whole challenge of making sure AI actually reflects local languages and cultures, which can be really complex. An AI model trained on data from one country might not work well in another country because of all the differences in how people speak and think and live.
It's like trying to translate a joke sometimes.
Yeah.
It doesn't always land the same way.
Exactly. And that's a huge hurdle for sovereign AI. You need systems that are tailored to the people who are actually going to use them.
That makes a lot of sense. Are there any other challenges?
Yeah, well, if every country is just doing its own thing, working in isolation, there's a risk of everything becoming really fragmented. We could end up with a bunch of different AI systems that can't talk to each other, which would really slow down progress.
Okay, so how do we avoid that? What can countries do to actually make this sovereign AI thing work? I mean, where do they even start?
Well, the AI Coach by Anil Nathu source material had some great recommendations. First off, governments really need to figure out what's most important for them. What are their priorities? Is it healthcare, defense, education?
Yeah, focus on what matters most.
Exactly. Because once they know that, they can put their resources in the right places and start building from there.
Okay, so priorities first. What else?
Then they've got to invest in education and training.
Hmm.
They need to make sure they have enough skilled people who can actually work with AI, develop new algorithms, all that stuff.
So it's not just about the tech, it's about the people too.
Absolutely. And it's not just about having people who can use AI, it's about having people who can build it, improve it, and push it forward.
Yeah, the creators.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And finally, countries need to work together. I know we talked about fragmentation, but collaboration is crucial too. Government should be partnering with universities, with research institutions, even with private companies to share knowledge and speed up progress.
So it's like a balance. You need to have your own thing, but you also need to be open to working with others.
Exactly. It's a complex landscape.
It really is. So to kind of bring this all together, this whole idea of sovereign AI, it's about more than just technology, isn't it? It has all these other implications too.
Oh, definitely. It's about economics, politics, even culture. It's
Yeah.
about countries trying to define their place in a world that's increasingly shaped by AI.
And how they want to use AI to shape their own futures.
That's a great way to put it.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive on the AI Coach by Anil Nathu. So much to think about. Before we go, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember about sovereign AI?
I think it's this. Sovereign AI is reshaping the global landscape. It's about nations taking control of their technological future, using AI to improve their societies and their economies and making sure that their data is secure. And while there are definitely challenges ahead, the potential benefits are enormous. How this all unfolds is going to have a huge impact on the future of AI and on the world as a whole.
It's definitely something we all need to be paying attention to. Thank you for joining us today on the AI Coach by Anil Nathu. Don't forget to visit the AI Coach website for more AI insights by Anil Nathu.
Thanks for having me.
It was great having you.